Texas Tech is hosting one of their major portal targets this week out in the 806. Who is it? We'll discuss that in today's video and much, much more. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast. Appreciate y'all tuning in to the most successful month of this here channel, 12,000 strong. Appreciate each and every single one of you. If you haven't joined the Back to 12 squad yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell for 100% free Texas Tech content all year long. All right, this is a guy we've talked about here on the channel. He had been rumored to be linked to Texas Tech, and now we know because of the report from Austin Massey and Jacob Harris of the Scarlet and Black Insider that, well, a Texas Tech big target is on campus as we speak. You can see it on your screen right there who it is. It is Luke Bamgboye. There you go, right there from VCU, 6'10", 200 pounds, originally from London, England, but went to high school out in Chandler, Arizona at Arizona Compass Prep. He is ranked as the 216th best player in this current portal class. We'll discuss his skill set here in just a minute, but this was a guy that, like I said, we talked about him here on the channel as a potential Fetty replacement. And with Fetty now in the portal and getting some high interest, including from the likes of Indiana, you've got Texas A&M in the mix, as well as a few others, that according to Tobias Bass of The Athletic. This is where Texas Tech pivoted to. And this is a guy in Bamgboye that has gone and visited Grand Canyon. Some thought that maybe he would, follow his coach, Ryan Odom from VCU to Virginia. That hasn't happened yet. I mean, Bamgboye has been in the portal since March 24th. It's been a while since he has officially entered. And now, today, the portal is officially closed. So you have that. So what does that mean? That does not mean guys have to, go and commit by tonight. That is not what it means. That just means that they have to be in the portal formally, okay? And Bamgboye meets that criteria. Let's go ahead and look at some of his stats because, again, they're not going to wow you. We've talked about him here on the channel before. We'll scroll down a little bit for you, and we'll look at him. But there you go. 3.8 points, nothing crazy, right? 3.3 rebounds, nothing crazy. But then we scroll down a little bit, and there you go. You can see it on your screen, the thing that really stands out to me, and that is the 2.1 blocks per game in under 17 minutes, 16.8 minutes per game on average. That is insanity. I mean, he is really good. And I've talked about him, like I said, here on the channel before, but this is a guy that is a true anchor of a defense, in my opinion. I think he's one of those guys where I think a lot of people are going to try and compare him to Fetty. This is what I would say. I think Bamgboye is a better defender. I think he's a better lob threat, but maybe a little worse of an offensive rebounder. I think that that's a fair comparison, right? And we talked about it when we originally talked about him on the channel. He is a guy that fits the mold of what Grant McCasland and crew want in their center. Long, rangy, athletic, fleet of foot for their size, can go up a little bit, smaller in terms of the weight, but are uber athletic, have switch ability, and command the defensive side of the floor in terms of the impact they can make close to the basket. But some of the stats, again, that stand out, obviously the 2.1, 87% of his field goal attempts came at the rim last year, and he shot nearly 60%. You can see it 59.8 to be exact. He had a 14.9% block rate. For those that don't know, JT Toppin had basically around a 6. So there you go, okay? You look at it from the offensive rebounding perspective, right, in terms of his O-board rate, and this is something where I think he can get better. This is still a good number for a true freshman, 10.3% offensive rebounding rate. And he's just always seemingly in a good spot when it comes to rebounding. He's not the most physical guy in the world, but he understands his leverage and his athleticism really well. 82% in terms of ranking in the 82nd percentile when it comes to being a good cutter. Didn't rank out very well in the pick and roll, which was kind of surprising to me because that's where Grant McCasland's bread and butter is, but I think he can get better. He actually ranked at VCU in the 30th percentile in terms of pick and roll as the roll man. I don't think he's going to come to Texas Tech if he were to commit to the Red Raiders and be that guy that's, 90th percentile as a roll man. I don't think that would happen, but I think he could get up into that, 50, 60 range, and that would be plenty good enough for Texas Tech in terms of the guy playing alongside of JT Toppin. Now, in terms of what he could potentially be and why this is so meaningful in terms of getting him to campus, okay? This is your Fetty replacement. Like, this is, I think, the guy that they truly have zeroed in on in terms of the guy that they want from a developmental standpoint. Because you think about it from the Fetty perspective. Would they have liked Fetty back? Maybe. I don't know. But maybe the leverage there for Fetty in terms of, we talked about this as well, where this is probably going to be the year where he makes the most money playing basketball in his career. That is Federico, right? So he's going to try and create leverage, go to the portal, and try and make as much money as possible and find a role. I get that. But Texas Tech pivoted, and they look like they have identified Luke Bamgboye from VCU as the guy that they want to be the Federico replacement. And it makes a ton of sense, right? From the standpoint of his skill set is very similar. He's a little bit more athletic than Fetty, in my opinion, a little shorter, 1 inch to be exact. But he is a guy where I think you put on 15, 20 pounds of muscle, which I don't think is a crazy thing to say, considering he's just a freshman going into his sophomore year. And no disrespect to VCU, but Texas Tech's got a better weight program, right? So you think about that, and I still think he can keep that athleticism. And I think Bamgboye would be a guy, in my opinion, that could be one of the better defensive anchors and post players in the Big 12, as well as a lob threat. And he would fit seamlessly alongside JT Toppin because he's just like Fetty, but I think he's a little bit more athletic. And we've already seen JT can play alongside a guy like Federico at a very high level and thrive. We've also seen Fetty be able to play by himself. I think you would see that in terms of Bamgboye as well if he were to commit to the Scarlet and Black. And I think also you would see Bamgboye elevate his skill level and talent because of the talent around him, right? The output would increase. I think he would be much better in a Texas Tech system, and he would be much better in the pick and roll aspect of it. But as of today, again, at the time of this recording, which is Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025, Luke Bamgboye is on campus out in the 806. That, according to Austin Massey and Jacob Harris of the Scarlet and Black Insider. He is a guy that Texas Tech, like I said, has identified to be that guy to potentially come in and be that Federico replacement. And I think it would be a perfect trio in the front court for Texas Tech in the sense of JT Toppin, obviously being a leader of it, right? Playing alongside Bamgboye, I think that would be a really good compliment, right? And then you've got Mario Akuntuk. I think that those three guys would play really, really well alongside each other in the Texas Tech front court. And you can also play Lawan Watts in the front court as well. This isn't done by any stretch of the imagination in terms of at the time of this recording, but hopefully Texas Tech can get the job done. We know that when Grant McCasland gets guys out to the 806, typically good things happen. Nothing official here yet, but again, Texas Tech has identified Luke Bamgboye as the guy that they hope to potentially, take over that Fetty role as he is on campus on Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025, on his official visit out to the 806. Hopefully this is a guy that Buff, Coach AC, and others can land the commitment of, and he could be the starting five for Texas Tech or be that guy that comes off the bench like Fetty did and plays damn near starter minutes and critical minutes at that for Texas Tech. But again, name to monitor, Luke Bamgboye on his official visit out to the 806, someone that Texas Tech obviously thinks very highly of. We'll talk about some guards later on once they, trickle in a little bit, because you had Denzel Aberdeen. He committed to Kentucky. That was a guy Texas Tech was targeting, but now it looks like Texas Tech has pinpointed Luke Bamgboye, as I mentioned. Maybe sounded like a broken record, but I had to get the point across there to you guys. You know what I mean? And that'll do it for today's video. Appreciate y'all tuning in. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell to join the likes of over 12,000 Red Raiders here on the Back to 12 podcast channel. It's the most interactive Texas Tech YouTube channel by far, most subscribed to. We're putting out videos almost daily, 100% free to use. So just one more time, one more self-promotion in the video. Be sure to like it, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. It's the best way to keep this content 100% free. And hey, appreciate each and every one of y'all tuning in. As always, I'm RC Maxfield reminding you to stay safe and Recom Tech.